So, speaking of setup, let's discuss the setup for Afcon. There's a rumored Afcon list. I don't know. I think a lot
Is
of
it
people.
rumored?
It's rumored. I don't think it's official yet.
So the question is, there's a 54-man list that we all saw.
Yes.
We've not seen the 20 whatever. In the 54, Ekong that is on that list has retired.
So obviously,
Agu and I know we don't even know if they are fit. So I'm
hey,
saying,
come! I don't like the way you brush past second retirement.
That's what I was adjusting. So I wanted to see.
I don't like the way you just move.
Let's start from there.
Let's start from there.
Yes.
That's the.
So the first things first is, I think if you want to address an issue, I'm an optimist. I feel like whenever I want to touch on issues, I always like to talk about the good side first before I go to the bad side. So first things first, Ekong has had a stellar international career. Okay, we have to give props and say thank you, Skipo. Right, and ordinarily when we talk about our national team captains, a lot of things that they do are behind the scenes. It's the players that mostly appreciate them. Sure. But with Ekong, the fans have come to understand a lot of things about how the national team is being run. So I also say, okay, it's super for him in the sense that it gave us a lot of insights. I personally have been around the Super Eagles a number of times. I remember, I think in 2013, when Super Eagles used to be in Calabar. I was in Calabar during that period, so I used to be in camp, I go watch training sessions, I stay in the hotel with players and all of that. So you have information.
Inside life.
John asked that, but Williams Troost-Ekong made all of this public in the sense that, we have these problems, we have those problems, these things go well for us, these things don't go well for us, and all of those things. On the field, one World Cup, silver, bronze at the Afcon, best player at the Afcon. Olympics bronze, is the defender with the most goals in Afcon history, 83 caps. I think that puts him in top 10 in Nigeria records and all of that, 10-year career. I think has done very well for the Super Eagles team. The bad parts, I think those of us that sit on the floor, I can see the future. We all saw this coming, right? I knew for a fact that after the debacle of the Gabon game, where Super Eagles said they were not going to train, and he came out to put a public statement like, if Nigeria don't make the World Cup, it's either right after that qualification or the Afcon is gone, right? Because what he had done was a quote sacrilege, and there's precedence to this. The players that are outspoken in the national team often get booted out. We've seen players like Eminike, we've seen players like Kenyama, and the one that everybody talks about all the time, Sunday Olise. Once you act like you're bigger than the institution, more often than not, they just boot you out. So I expected 2 people to be booted out. I will not call the second person's name. I will just hold on a bit. Yeah, I've told Tomi offset the second person. So when it happens, we'll come back and laugh.
You know what? I feel like you should say it. So when it happens, it will be on history, be a record.
Don't worry. There's a boardman. The boardman knows the person.
There's receipt.
There's receipt.
That's fine. That's what I need.
It's more of. He has done very well. Whenever I think William Troost-Ekong, first thing that comes to my mind is appreciation. Thank you very much for your service and all of that. I wish he ended better. I wish he ended
with the World Cup. I wish he went to one more World Cup. Yes.
Yeah, that's why I wish. And I know that what Tomi is going to say is the appearance at the World Cup next year is going to paper cracks that ordinarily will be left unattended. But in my opinion, with or without the World Cup,
those cracks will still be there. I assure you, these cracks.
Like we should have made the best.
These cracks were there during the time of Yakubu Aigbeni. These cracks were.
What are you talking about? Since time of Shegun Oyegbami.
Ifedotun spoke much. I put it on my status. For people that watch that have my phone number, I was like, I prepared a rant. Ifedotun was taking like 3/4 of my rant because I think it is madness. Yeah. For 22 years ago, the captain of the squad and the star captain of the squad asked for people to be paid their money. You didn't pay them their money. You disbanded the team. And you went to a World Cup with Okpabumi and the likes. 23 years after you did that, the captain came out to say that you are owing people money. Ekong doesn't need their money.
Yeah, it doesn't need their money.
Doesn't need their money.
I think that's why they take the piss, because a lot of the players in the national team are well.
So you guys watched the Yakubu interview?
Yeah, what's the Yakubu interview?
Yakubu said something that stuck out for me. Okay, and for me, it makes the situation worse. Okay. Like I said, I used to be around that camp in 2013, and some of the things I saw there were things that Yakubu spoke about. So Yakubu says, when I come for international duty, my sitting allowance or my whatever allowance, maybe $1,000, it doesn't leave the country with me. People will collect it.
Yes, no.
Like, people will collect it. So now, if you don't get paid that money, it means all those things you are settling, you're paying it from your pocket.
Yes.
So not only are they not adding to you,
They are taking from you.
So that was what stood out for me. And again, I saw this firsthand. I will not call names. I will not give specific instances, but that's how it is. It's not necessarily a football thing. It's maybe a Nigerian thing where once you come into the country, how far? What do you bring for us? What do you bring for us? What do you bring for us? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I understand
and it's
that.
Particular for footballers, because people know that footballers earn a lot.
Yeah, but in a working environment where all the things you need are being provided, your training, your allowances, and I mean, people keep on saying that these allowances are not important. That the English players, once they get the allowances, they give it to charity and all of that. I'm like, but they're paid first.
Yes.
Then they decide
whatever
what
they
to
want to
do
use the money
with
to
it.
business.
So if you pay the players and players say, okay, you know what, this one is for a charity in Lagos. Mm-hmm. Tomorrow it's charity in Abuja.
So
and all that.
If you
just give them their money.
If you carry the money, go club. Nobody
understand.
You.
So and that's what, when you said that Yakubu thing, and that's why I came like for me the major problem is not even just not only are they not giving, they're also taking, and it's just.
I feel like I like the fact that we were going to talk about the Afcon list, but we started to talk about the bigger issue when it comes to Nigerian international football. I like the fact that we're talking about, because I think the issue is the NFF itself.
So let me digress. Let me digress. I was on Twitter, and a popular irritant journalist came out yesterday.
We're not mentioning any names.
See, I'm not. If you see, that's your personal problem.
If the shoe fits.
He came out yesterday to post something about Ekong is not a better captain than Musa. He has not done anything like Musa, and Yobo, and he started writing. In my head, I'm like, what is your problem? Like you. So, as you said, the NFF. The problem is when ex-players, and journalists are also paid or buy into the nonsense that the NFF is doing, then we know that the problem is not only the leaders. Even we as human beings in Nigeria, somebody came to the group chat and said that Osimhen should face trying to become Champions League. Somebody came to the group chat and said Osimhen should try to face Champions League top scorer, and you should forget about Afcon. And I'm like, no be this same group where person talk say Osimhen dey fake injury, come out for a game. Now why we lose match? We the human beings in Nigeria are as horrible
as our leaders,
as the leaders, and the leaders are a reflection
of the people.
I said I almost caused.
Where did they pick leaders from? Is it not part of?
It's part of us now. It's not that they go. It's like they go farm where they are
I saw that journalist post here, and me, I'm a part-time journalist. I'm a tech bro by profession. One of the pay me shit.
So you can talk. You can say whatever is on your mind.
I saw that and I'm like, you should be a professional. You have CAF in your bio. You are a professional.
Wait, is it that same clown?
It's the same clown now. It's the same clown.
We didn't call names.
I actually replied him that when will you ever be serious? Like he went and was saying things like Ekon has done nothing for Nigeria compared to Yobo. This man announced his retirement. This man got people like, see, to be honest, as you said, the insight, he was using his GoPro. The first time he came back from Watford, he was using his GoPro. That's when I started seeing how the camp was, how they trained. He did free PR for a lot of players that time now. Pack all those Mumbai boys into his videos. That's how we knew their staff, their kit men, Ronaldo, and all those guys. Like he showed us, okay, these guys they are our people. Let us know what's going on with them. England FA officially shows when the players come to camp, shows them in camp and stuff. We didn't really have that. Ekong took that and did it by himself. At some point, they frustrated him, he stopped it.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I'm like, what has this guy done to deserve? Because he asked for people to be paid their money. I see videos of Bassi going to his house in the UK. Look, man, like, so it's obvious that he's a big brother to these guys.
And he's that guy.
Balogun replied him, and I know Balogun had the exact same problem.
That's why I was booted out of the team as well.
He called out NFF on the podcast in Germany or something for not paying on time and things like that. This guy had his stellar season with Rangers. Didn't call him.
Yeah.
Didn't call him.
Anyway, so I feel like we've ranted enough.
No,
I want to start.
Never mentioned the list at all.
I want to start round 2. Round 2 is about the list. So round 2 is about the list, and the list is very, very simple, right? You have a maximum of 28 players going to the Afcon. Yeah. You bring out a list of 54 players. Okay, fine. Granted, it is very possible that 54 players are in contention for 28 spots.
They're not in contention.
No. It is very possible.
I saw they go for bid.
No. You're not getting my point. It is very possible that 54 players are in contention for 28 spots. Now, when you look at the 54 players that were called up, then you begin to ask certain questions. If we're being serious and if we don't lie to ourselves, there's nothing that stops that list from being a 35-man squad if you want to do something that is provisional. There are a lot of people on that list that we know that there is nothing that can happen and they're going to make that list. Do you understand? In the sense that, okay, let me give you an instance. 28 multiplied by 2 is 56, right? So you're having maybe two people for one slot. Now, in the starting lineup, you probably have 5 names nailed down. So you don't need 4 replacements. Do you understand? You don't need replacements in the 28, then replacements in the. There are some names that just a waste of time for everybody. You see some players, 6 goalkeepers. In the real sense of it, it is impossible that we go with more than 3.
We know the 3.
So even if you want to put one on standby, you put one on standby and all of that. I feel like it's a waste of everybody's time and energy and all of that. If you want to do a provisional list, you have a 30-man list, a provisional list, and you have maybe 5 or 6 on standby. So it just shows some of these players that are in the 54 are going to start lobbying. It's money for some people. I mean, you didn't hear from me.
You just went to
and
World
all
Cup
of
qualifiers. You just went to World Cup qualifiers with how many players? For Christ's sake, I'm expecting that those World Cup qualifiers should be the.
We're supposed to
be
build something else.
Yeah,
we're supposed to
do
build
something around them.
So it was supposed to be the World Cup qualifiers, the World Cup playoff part 1, the Afcon, and the World Cup playoffs part 2. Do you understand? So it's more of, is there no continuity whatsoever?
No. So even it makes you even question the retirement of Ekong more if Benjamin Fredericks is not going.
No, so I feel.
All I know has not played the match in how many months. So like you're asking yourself, if Benjamin Fredericks, who was the person that they said benched Ekong, is not going, and Fredericks moved to right back, in my opinion, the 2 best right backs we have in the country, or 2 right-footed footballers we have in the country, are both injured. Agu and I know, even though Agu likes to play from the left, they're both injured, and they've both been injured for a sizable amount of time, and they're both on the same list. And you're asking yourself, how are we navigating?
What's the criteria? What are we using? So
are we calling back Onkuke?
So
there's even this German boy that I thought they said we were trying to Maurice Jens, tall 6'5" CB. I thought they said his name is on the list. Ryan Alibiosu. That's actually if he's actually cleared though.
That's why
because I was saying something about he doesn't have his passport yet. If he's actually cleared, he has an IM but doesn't have passport.
Nigeria is
actually cleared. So it is unreal.
That's why Ifedotun, before we started, we said it clearly, rumored Afcon list. Because me personally, from what I see, I don't believe that that's happening.
Even the home-based players that were on that list, we're not the best home-based players in the country as we speak.
I don't believe that's happening.
So for home-based, and that's why I try my best as possible to stay away from home-based conversations, because whenever we get to home-based conversations, that's where we see the conversation becoming even more political. Okay, so people say the Super Eagles were very disappointing in the World Cup playoffs. Yeah, I think we should have played a lot better against Congo. That's story for another day.
I think we should have played a lot better in general.
No, so that's story for another day. Okay, I don't want to go into details of the play and all of that. But when people come out to rant and say, "Oh, the home-based players would have done better" and all of that, I don't even think it's a lie. I think it's a lack of self-awareness, because there are different competitions. So there are different competitions that tell you the strength of your league. Yes. So you look at your CHAN. We are terrible in those. You look at your CAF Champions League. We are terrible in that.
So I've realized
Rivers United lost the game.
Yes, no.
They were 2-1. They were leading 1-0 in the 94th minute.
Yes.
They lost 2-1.
Do you know
in that game?
You know that's the best squad in the country.
Yes.
So let's
yes.
That's
the best squad in the country. Even Remo Stars too struggled.
Those ones, they've lost all their players.
Yes.
And are trying to rebuild.
No, leave Remo Stars out of it. I'm leaving Remo Stars about it because it's also a reflection in the Nigerian league. They just crashed their whole squad.
They crashed their whole squad.
We understand where that's coming from.
That's the best squad in the league.
So you look at CAF Champions League, you look at CAF Confederations Cup. When last did we have a good performance? Not a great one. I'm not saying when we won it, Once they will have a good performance in any of those, that is where you see the best clubs. Now, if you say the Chan, then you mix players from different teams and all of that. So you can say maybe there's a lack of synergy, lack of practice time, etc. But in the clubs, they do this week in, week out. So when they play against other clubs, how well do they do in those? Do you understand? Now, you look at the home-based players that have come to play in the Super Eagles in the last 5-6 years. There are very few of them, very, very few. I can count them on one hand that have made the case for themselves that, okay. More often than not, what you see is that's why they don't call them base players. Do you understand? So I feel like what we should be doing, right, is a full blow it up, right, break it down, and let's start from the ground all over again.
So I feel like there's a general mistake that we make. Especially, I don't want to fault the managers or the coaches or the technical directors or whatnot. But I feel like what we need to do is not necessarily just break it down. We need a system. Often, if
you're building up, that's where the system comes from.
Well, more times often I realize. Wait, I'm going somewhere.
Tell me, let them employ us now.
Yeah, down. No, I can't do it though. Involve me. Now, I feel like if we can set up a system, because more times often than not, we see that they create a system to accommodate the players that are available.
Oh, by system, you mean like on the pitch?
Yes.
No, I'm not even talking on the pitch. I'm talking about Germany. I'm talking about Germany winning Euro 96, going out to Croatia in 98, having a terrible Euro 2000. They got to the final in 2000 World Cup and they're like, you know what, wait. Let's see what is like. And we're going to host the World Cup in 2006. Euro 2004 was not bad for them again. They went to, between 2004 and 2006, they crashed everything to the ground and started afresh. 2006, World Cup semis, 2008 Euros final, 2010 World Cup semis, 2012 Euros semis again, or something like that. 2014 they won the World Cup. You see, France, they didn't qualify for 94 World Cup. They were terrible in 96 or something like that. They also the World Cup in 98. That's why they did Clairefontaine and all those things. Yeah. When you want to crash something to the ground, you crash it to the ground and you build with purpose.
I know left.
Leave the field. Leave the field.
I know left.
The field is a reflection of what happens behind.
To us, we can talk here. We'll probably just turn this podcast to a stream. If you're around Nigeria, talk day. So if you are wondering what we're talking about, don't stress us. You need to go and do some research. Go and look for the Afcon provisional list. Because I don't know how I see some people expecting us to be like, oh, this person. Nah, don't stress us. We've told you what we need to tell you. Go and look for the list and go and discuss. And this is the Sports Lounge. It's been another lovely episode. I'm glad to be back in the studio with my boys having a good time. So make sure that you like and subscribe, because this is the Sports Lounge, the next generation of influencers. We do content like this often and we generate and it'll be nice of you just for the algorithm and whatnot. So make sure you subscribe, like, and comment and share as well. Thank you very much. This has been the Sports Lounge, the next generation of influence or sports influencers.